news eba and it's a minority leader Afenyo Markin finally also obesi Sammy Gyamfi and Ayariga J. And of course media platforms be wabomudi akaho and parliament resume emergency recall no speaker Tinagum and Afenyo Markin the welcome address or the confer Goldbod and the country also obesi for me anyway we and outgoing majority leader Mahama Ayariga besi actually also Goldbod lost an MPP for I don't know where one tiasi Goldbod Mumpo and the best policy in the history of this country. Now, Afenyo Markin will reply on a number of allegations they are raising against him. And I saw him say, Sammy Gyamfi Ayariga J alleged extortionist claim against Afenyo Markin. They say, "Oh, see, Womo." Now, Mahama Ayariga ban will be cast in the person obetie. Speaker also be cast on the submission from Afenyo Markin. OSP are striking. Maka content in your some right here on Sokatwa Show. Meso. Over subscribe. We are not turning bell notification icon. The video need drop here. Once Ebeka, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section. Over share link in the dewa. Now for and your be a share. Lily Flower Green Clean Solution Center. I mean, can't show. And a power numere. Open clinic company. Papa. I'm a mobile preferences. You feel on office, church, bank institution. I'm a higher camera. I'm a show. Friend numbers in the good screens. You can crave me. I'm a Joe. Near 20 view pool at the amount. Backhomeaccess.com about Ghana for more money. Me patro Diana Wusino. Business now Wusino. Assassin person okotono. Open registered company, professional group among who to me say amobako site na busiafo. Me Chelsea match in the see America o ma she Chelsea ashabako less than 50 seconds. O ma she full ambako. Eh ready jankopo. Anyway, open clinic company papa and I say sorry, make up backhomeaccess.com. And to the only Yabeko site one be dan yes ya koduru be beka no kwade akero muntie de yew we nya contractors ne wagadre na busuafo na namfo de ni bia omu twa wonto dabi yakọ adu lentul ye beka akero foundation level ye beka akero asase na aposo kotor edanguram ye beka akero ebenso ye beka akero me say your professional group for number na good screen and I say log on to backhomeaccess.com the place to request abjafo mama started with OSP statement na omode ba abonti mi hia na me the Afenyo Markin speaker of parliament and Mahama Ayariga voices so at was at the amount. Now, official screen was allegations of extortion against the minority leader of parliament. The Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, has taken note of public allegations of extortion and related conduct made by the Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Goldbod, Sammy Gyamfi, against the minority leader of parliament, Afenyo Markin. The OSP also acknowledges a joint petition submitted by two persons as well as two separate petitions submitted by other persons in relation to these allegations. Given the nature of the allegations, the OSP will assess the case and determine whether it falls within its statutory mandate and other further investigative action is warranted. OSP said, and confirm a requirement petition or office of Munyashemu. No more what to say, Montana for car, as Sammy Gyamfi say, where I say, to more so Munyashemu, no more say, assembly in a showroom, you'll make my Shemu. I was therefore. My mom could first season Afenyo Markin was who was Sammy Gyamfi Ayariga J. Now my person ubenya train what Afenyo Markin. I wasn't too convinced about the demeanor. My name is what check money see. To
why this house was recalled. This house has been recalled to consider urgent business. That urgent business is not on its face the matter I am about to raise. But Mr. Speaker, no other paper drawn up before today could have anticipated the shock that met Ghanaians this month, that the government that they elected to reset the governance of this country has, under the watch of Goldbod and Bank of Ghana, lost $1.7 billion US. At today's exchange rate, that is 22 billion cedis gone from a program that was meant to protect our gold, strengthen our city, and support our economy. Speaker, according to IMF report dated 17 December 2025 at page 3, paragraph 56, quote, losses from the domestic gold purchase program and Goldbod's activities should not be borne by the central bank and transparently brought on budgets. Further, the BOG should develop a clear and time-bound strategy for scaling down gold purchases, end quote. Speaker, we hold a firm view that this House cannot convene this week and be silent on that figure. It must become part of our deliberations so that the people of Ghana know that those in charge of implementation of policy must account to the people of Ghana. In keeping with that conviction and in line with the relevant provisions of our standing orders, on the 20th of August 2026, we, the minority, filed through the proper process a motion demanding the establishment of an ad hoc committee under Order 2621A to investigate the loss in full. We ask that this House refer that matter to a committee empowered to summon documents, summon witnesses, and give Ghanaians the disaggregation they are owed, not a summary, not a slogan. A full account of how much of that $1.7 billion was lost to foreign exchange movement, how much was lost in the prices at which gold was bought and sold, and what judgment, if any, guided the officials who made those decisions. Speaker and colleagues, this matters beyond the number itself. When the Bank of Ghana's own capital is eroded by losses of this size, it is a taxpayer who is called upon to recapitalize. Your city, my city, every Ghanaian city, called upon to rebuild an institution brought low by the decisions the public bears the cost of. That is not a technical matter for economists alone. That is a matter of urgent public importance for this House, under Order 114 of our standing orders, and we, the minority, shall treat it as such. Speaker, we make this point in a context that makes the loss even harder to accept. As we speak, Ghanaians in mining communities across this country continue to suffer kidney failure, lung failure, and other grave conditions at alarming rates because of the extensive pollution that illegal mining has visited upon our water bodies and our air. This has become nothing short of a widespread epidemic, one this government appears to have neither the clue nor the courage to confront. So while Goldbod cannot account for 1.7 billion, an equivalent of 22 billion Ghana cedis, Ghanaians in our mining communities are paying with their kidneys, their lungs, and in other cases, their lives. This House owes them an answer too. Speaker, in the face of the allegations of extortion leveled against me, I have chosen to take high moral ground by submitting myself to the processes of the law. I have accordingly caused writs to be filed in suit number GT 1029/2026, entitled Osahin Alexander Afenyo Markin versus Samuel Gyamfi and Multimedia Group Limited at the Accra High Court, and suit number GR/AC/C5/02/2026, entitled Osahin Alexander Afenyo Markin versus Eric Ejay and Peace FM at the Achimota Circuit Court. I have every confidence that in the fullness of time, the court will make the appropriate determination on these matters. Mr. Speaker, I also await with bated breath that the man or the men who made the allegation will have the courage to report the matter to the police or the OSP or any investigating agency in this country. And I expect that if they muster the courage to report that I have extorted from them and I am invited, I shall submit myself to every investigation so that eventually my name is cleared. Mr. Speaker, there is a limit to political discourse. There are lines that must not be crossed, and these red lines, once crossed, they must be dealt with. Mr. Speaker, I can modestly and humbly say that I have served in this position with integrity. I came into this office a man of hard work with determination, and I have achieved for myself what I have to do for myself, my family, and my constituents. Mr. Speaker, I work with clear conscience and with fidelity to the responsibilities entrusted to me. I say so without more. Mr. Speaker, let me now turn to the issue of power in our country. Speaker, our nation was left in darkness. As if that was not enough, we must also draw the House's attention to the general state of power supply in our country. We ask that it be made a pivotal part of our deliberation this week. In the space of 1 month,
the minority leader Afenyo Markin kasa we ape and majority leader, outgoing majority leader Mahama Ayariga ebesi achiri. No say oh, Goldbod losses na mo Canada. Mo kra no mo pose mo de credit ni bi mo MP before mo je credit ni bi say Dr. Mahama ka obi na di Goldbod and I say san hye no gold dwade ho hye ne bae. Na losses na mo ka ho asem no. Say mpo ho a adenti na mo nka the good things Goldbod yama Ghana economy no. Mahama Ayariga say mo pro Goldbod the best policy.
That we are going to sit for only 5 days. I therefore urge colleagues as much as we can to attend the sittings for the 5 days period so that we can accomplish many of the things that we have indicated. Unfortunately, I want to appeal to my colleagues in the minority that many of the issues that you have raised, even though some may be germane, I unfortunately want us to abide by Speaker's directive that this House focuses on the urgent matters for which reason he has recalled the House. I know for sure that on several occasions in this House, the minority has raised the issue of the matters at Goldbod. And even though you have consistently tried to brand it as losses being run by an institution of government, I believe that I've also witnessed in this House that the minority has urged us to share the glory for the establishment of Goldbod with your flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And I know for sure that in the original design that the NDC government inherited, according to you, there were still what you call losses. Even if the losses have increased, it is because this government have pursued policies that have expanded the volume of gold that has been purchased by the government. Those are facts, and you know the facts. In this House, we have consistently demonstrated that what you call losses are actually costs that this country has to pay in order to maintain the strength of our currency today. What you call as losses is costs that this country has to deal with as a result of maintaining the stability of our currency. All these things have been argued, and we have tried to make a case that this is perhaps one of the best policies that have ever been implemented by any government in this country that has stabilized our currency, that has strengthened our city, and that has maintained inflation at a very low rate up to date. So, Mr. Speaker, having made these arguments, having come to this understanding, it is difficult to understand why consistently our friends in the minority want to brand what we all are benefiting from as an economy as a loss incurred by the Goldbod. I am surprised that we will continue going along this tangent. But knowing the politics in this house, I know that there are those who believe that if you keep telling a particular story, no matter how untrue that story is, the public might begin to believe that that is the truth. And so I can understand why every single day my friends in the minority will try to pump into the brains of Ghanaians the wrong narrative that Goldbod is running losses. Even as they repeat the mantra that Goldbod is running losses, they are not in the same press conferences saying that as a result of the alleged loss of Goldbod, your city is now stronger than it was when MPP was in office. We are not also telling Ghanaians that as a result of the so-called losses of Goldbod, your inflation is stable. We are not telling Ghanaians that as a result of the so-called losses of Goldbod, we are paying our debts and we are being graded very highly by all the international rating agencies. So you may describe it as Goldbod losses, but we see it as an innovative national fiscal monetary policy that is stabilizing our currency, that is making our economy stronger, that is going to alleviate the poverty of many Ghanaians. And so we stand strongly behind Goldbod and the management of Goldbod. We stand strongly behind the finance minister and the management of the finances of this country. Whatever the World Bank has said, what I understand them to be saying, and the IMF, whatever they have said, I understand them to be saying that even though there will be losses based on the way we have designed the system, they expect it to be borne by the government and not by the central bank. And so reforms are underway to shift the transactions from the central bank to the government. And so I believe that ultimately your major concerns will be addressed. On the issue of energy, I want to assure you that I have the assurance of the Minister for Energy that by the end of September, the issues causing the power outages will be resolved. We're all in this country, and we saw the fire outage that destroyed the transmission substation at Akosombo. We all know that our gas suppliers are having a maintenance schedule which is reducing the supply of gas to the country. And again, we also know that a lot of our energy infrastructure is aging. And as a result of the aging infrastructure, we need to engage in routine maintenance and change. And during these periods, we will be compelled to shut off the power in order to be able to carry out these routine maintenance activities. These, we hope, will be finished by the end of September, and the minister assures us by that time we will resume the stable power that we have been enjoying since John Dramani Mahama became president again.
Mr. Speaker, going my majority leader Mahama Ayariga we are and a Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Agbamba Besehe, Adiana leaders in Mino and Wantiasi, or say going forward, or can welcome address in Parliament, or person was such them because as some of Afenyo Markin Bekayano, as Mahama Ayariga Bekayano, or Mokawane Buro, welcome addresses. You couldn't go to Speaker of Parliament.
Honorable members, I am considering whether in future I'll be granting opportunity for the leaders to give welcome remarks. Because what has taken place has nothing to do with welcome remarks. We have heard notice being given by the minority leader on behalf of the minority caucus as to the agenda they intend as a caucus to pursue. that definitely has gone beyond the remit of welcome remarks. We have also heard the response from the majority leader, which has gone far, far also beyond welcome remarks. And so I can only say a few words on one thing mentioned by the minority leader, which has to do with the motion they have filed, which was received in my office on the 21st of August, 2026, just 3 days ago. 3 days ago that it got to my office. I have gone through the motion myself, and I intend to admit the motion because we have to at least have an end to litigation. As to whether it's a loss or it's a cost, this House will have the opportunity to go through it. And please, Ghanaians are very intelligent people. They will listen, they will read in between the lines, and they will make their decisions. But it's not proper for us to try to cover up anything. We are now part of the Open Governance Partnership, and we have opened our parliament beyond any other parliament in Africa. And so this is one of the things that, from listening to both sides, not only in the House, even outside the House, both sides are willing to engage and to explain themselves. And I don't think that the Speaker will be the one that will stand on the way of the country. So I intend to do so. But let me also draw the attention of the House to the fact that under our rules, our standing orders, the House, through its members, can also request a recall of Parliament. It's under our rules. If you read Order 59, Rule 2 and 3, it's very clear there. And that is when Parliament is on recess, not when Parliament is sitting. So please, that opportunity is there for members, but I will only do so in consultation with the leadership of the House. That is also clear in the standing orders. And so when you request, I have to call your leaders, discuss with them. If we are ad idem, then I'll recall the House. And that time, it could be done within 3 or 4 days, not as I have done in this case, almost a notice of 2 weeks. And so please, this is not a matter that can be considered within this 1 week, because we are now sitting, and the notice has come.
Speaker of Parliament, Adam Motene, can wajia tum se motion oba admit am afei the minority the person here it is Sammy Gyamfi member Parliament or baby yin some community no wajia tum say he is considering so wajia tum. Enti interesting times ahead. Maybe possibly in the near future we will get to the finality of this particular issue, because I say it take away the substance of the issue to where extortion is, where I say you see na assembly kwa kupi mo court no. Me the program no AC entry the big man himself na na Kodjo Janta Boba Tenenka on Soka to Ashomo for Steve Zando. Bye bye.